Hello everyone and welcome to question 64 of the Q&A series. Is there any common music-related terminology a musician must know to communicate and collaborate effectively with other musicians? If so, what are those and why? First of all, just like I said in a couple of videos back, understanding that there may be several words used globally to describe the same thing. So again, relating back to that whole note values are described differently in the US to the UK, obviously, and other countries, but these are the two you can pick out best. I am going to be doing a video soon that has lots of Western classical music notation terms explained and played properly and things like that. I'll be doing things on dynamics and structures and textures and all those things. It's to do with like music descriptors, if you like. So I'll be doing a video on that, so you'll want to know a lot of those, or a basic understanding at least of all of those things. And you'll also want to know the following words for, Western classical notation. So you'll want to know key, you'll want to know what key means, key signature. In basic terms, is the music in a minor, so you can relate that to being happy, or a minor, so sad, or a major key, happy. And then going from there, what key is it in? Is it in the key of C? Is it in G with one sharp, F with one flat? There's things we can go into with that. You'll want to know the term intonation. Intonation is the pitch accuracy of a musician or musical instrument. So, if you're singing, that's you as the person, or the instrument, you putting the air or playing into it. Your intonation may be flat, sharp, or both successively or simultaneously, as I think Wikipedia defined it as. So yes, you need to be careful. Intonation might be thrown out as a word. You might also just use the word tuning, but intonation is another word for that. So, for example, you might hear three violinists playing together, and they might be playing the same notes, but they might not sound perfectly in unison, and that's because their intonation will be ever so slightly off. Their finger might just not be quite in the right place, or their tuning of the string has slipped ever so slightly. So yeah, intonation. Modulation. Modulation is also known as a key change and the process of going into that key change. So you'll often get a couple of bars that sort of go into that key change. Knowing the word modulation is good, or key change. Suspension is another word, and suspension is when a note from a chord is held whilst the other notes of the chord change to a new harmony, and it creates dissonance. I could probably provide a little snippet on that, a playing snippet, if that would help you. But yes, and then leading on from that actually is resolution. So that's the move of a note or chord from the dissonance you've created with the suspension in some cases, which is, you'll actually know that as what's known as an unstable sound. And then it goes to a consonant, a more final or stable sounding one. A couple of other words to know is staff or stave, bar line, which are the vertical lines that divide the bars up, bar, or arrest. And then going on from that, we've got cadences. So that comes from the Latin cadentia, which means a falling. I think I've said that right. And it's the end of a phrase in which the melody or harmony creates a sense of resolution. The three most common cadences, but there are more, are the 5/1 cadence, also known as a perfect cadence, the 4/1 cadence, known as a plagal cadence, and it can be any chord to a 5 chord, also known as an imperfect cadence. Okay, so there's all of those things. Again, if there's any more little bits you want me to delve into, I don't want to add it all into this video because I think it'll come too far away from what the video is about. But if there's any random parts in there that you'd like me to just do a tiny little video to explain something, or do an example of playing, then please do let me know. In a pop setting, however, there's a couple of words. Again, I don't know many of them because sometimes things come so sort of second nature to you, you don't think of them puzzling other people as a word. But knowing what like a backbeat is, so that's a beat counted as 2 or 4 in a 4/4 rhythm. You know, so knowing that, knowing what a break is, so that's when most instruments stop, but 1 or 2 continue. Often drums do that. Knowing what a call and response is, so that's 2 musical phrases, one of which answers the other. Knowing things like that, I guess knowing what, like, you know, BV as a shortened down thing of saying backing vocals. I'm trying to think if there's any other random little ones that come to me, but I guess just referring to even piano as keys is a well-known, like one that we sort of change around and use. Yeah, if there's any others from other people that are watching this and they want to comment other words that they might think are very well needed to know within the musical world, then let us know. But the chances are, to be honest, if you don't know what something means, if you just say, I don't quite understand what you're saying there, they'll probably explain it to you. Musicians are often nice people. So, yeah, I hope that answers your question anyway. Cheers, bye.